महोदय, मैं आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में आपके आदेश से
विद्वान है,
क्रम संख्या 3
नियम से चलता है सदन।
सामने सूचीबद्ध उपभोक्ता मामले, खाद्य और सार्वजनिक वितरण मंत्रालय से संबंधित कागजात को सभापति को प्रस्तुत करता हूँ।
आइटम नंबर 4 श्री दानवे राव साहब पाटिल।
मैं आज के कार्यसूची में मेरे नाम के सामने क्रम संख्या 4 पर उल्लेखित कागजातों को सभा पटल पर रखता हूँ।
आइटम नंबर 5 साध्वी निरंजन ज्योति।
महोदय, मैं आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 5 पर मेरे नाम के सामने उल्लेखित पत्र सभा पटल पर प्रस्तुत करती हूँ।
आइटम नंबर 6 श्रीमती अनुप्रिया सिंह पटेल।
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House papers mentioned against my name at serial number 6 in the revised list of business for today.
Item number 7, Srimati Darshana Jardosh.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House papers mentioned against my name, serial number 7, related Ministry of Textile, as per the today's revised list of business.
Item number 8, Sri Devi Singh Chauhan.
Honorable Speaker, sir, with your kind permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House the papers mentions against my name at serial number 8 in today's revised list of business.
Item number 9, Mahasachiv.
Sir, I have to report that Rajya Sabha has returned the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 5th Amendment Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha with amendments. Sir, I lay on the table the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 5th Amendment Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha and returned by Rajya Sabha with amendments.
Item number 10, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Dr. Jitendra Singh.
Speaker, sir, with your kind permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House a statement regarding A, the status of implementation of the recommendations of leak observations contained in the 126th report of the Standing Committee on Personal Public Grievances, Law and Justice, Demand for Growth 2023-24, pertaining to the Department of Personnel and Training, Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions. B, the status of implementation of recommendations pertaining to the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Department of Pensions, Ministry of Personnel. And C, the status of implementation of recommendations of 367th report pertaining to the Ministry of बायोटेक्नोलॉजी। ये 2-3 विभाग इकट्ठे हो गए, इसलिए थोड़ा समझ ले रहा हूँ सर। Pertaining to the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. D, the status of implementation of the recommendations, observations contained in the 369th report pertaining to the demands of grants, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology. Fifth, the status of implementation of the 374th report of the Standing Committee on Science and Technology, Environment, Forest and Climate Change pertaining to the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. And sixth, the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the 375th report pertaining to the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, Ministry of Science and Technology. धन्यवाद।
माननीय सदस्यगण, सदन की गरिमा रखो, ये भारत की संसद है। आप इतने पुराने दल हो, आपका इस तरह का व्यवहार ठीक लगता है क्या? कुछ गरिमा रखो सदन में। आप गरिमा को गिराना चाहते हैं सदन में। इतने साल में शासन करने के बाद आपको ये व्यवहार सिखाया है। आइटम नंबर 12 श्रीमती दर्शना जरदोश।
Rise to make a statement regarding the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the 37th report of the Standing Committee on Labour, Textile and Skill Development on the development of man-made fibre pertaining to the Ministry of Textile.
Item number 13, Sri Som Prakash ji.
Sir, with your kind permission, I make statements regarding number 1, the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in 172nd report of the Standing Committee on Commerce, on promotion and regulation of e-commerce in India pertaining to the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Number 2, the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the 175th report of the Standing Committee on Commerce on action taken by the government on the recommended observation contained in 168th report of the Committee on Demands for Grant 22-23, demand number 11, pertaining to the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Thank you, sir.
श्री नित्यानंद राय।
महोदय, मैं माननीय गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी की ओर से प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जन्म और मृत्यु रजिस्ट्रीकरण अधिनियम 1969 का और संशोधन करने के लिए विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए।
और मनीष तिवारी जी, आप प्रेमचंदन जी, ओके। माननीय सदस्यगण, मुझे सदन को सूचित करना है कि मुझे श्री गौरव गोगोई से नियम 198 के अंतर्गत मंत्रिपरिषद में अविश्वास प्रस्ताव प्राप्त हुआ है। मैं श्री गौरव गोगोई से सदन की अनुमति प्राप्त करने के लिए अनुरोध करता हूं। प्रस्ताव इस प्रकार है। ये सभा मंत्रिपरिषद में विश्वास का अभाव प्रकट करती है। श्री गोगोई कृपया सदन की अनुमति प्राप्त करें।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं निम्नलिखित प्रस्ताव के लिए सदन की अनुमति चाहता हूं। ये सभा मंत्रिपरिषद में विश्वास का अभाव प्रकट करती है। मैं उन सदस्यों से जो इस प्रस्ताव की अनुमति दिए जाने के पक्ष में ये अनुरोध करता हूं, अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं। इस प्रस्ताव की अनुमति दी जाती है। मैं सभी दलों के नेताओं से चर्चा कर और नियमों के तहत उचित समय पर चर्चा करने की तिथि से आप सबको अवगत करा दूंगा। मनीष तिवारी जी।
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to oppose the introduction of the said bills on want of legislative competence on 3 counts. First, it transgresses on the right to privacy. Number 2, it transgresses on the right to the separation of powers. And number 3, it suffers from the malady of excessive delegation. If the Speaker would permit, I could read out in detail as to what are the reasons for this, for opposing the bill. But these are my 3 fundamental objections, Mr. Speaker, sir.
अधीर रंजन जी, आप बोलना चाहते हैं? प्रश्न ये कि विधेयक को पूरा स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहे, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब विधेयक को पूरा स्थापित करें।
मैं विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 15 श्री अधीर रंजन चौधरी जी। अधीर रंजन चौधरी जी। नित्यानंद राय जी।
महोदय, मैं माननीय गृह मंत्री जी श्री अमित शाह जी की ओर से प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर आरक्षण अधिनियम 2004 का और संशोधन करने के लिए विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए।
प्रश्न ये कि विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। माननीय मंत्री जी, विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करें।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं विधेयक पुनर्स्थापित करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 16 श्री नित्यानंद राय जी।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं माननीय गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी की ओर से प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर पुनर्गठन अधिनियम 2019 का और संशोधन करने के लिए विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए।
Sir, I oppose introduction of the bill. Sir, on the ground is that J&K Reorganization Act is a constitutionally suspect law. It is judicial security is being determined by the apex court. Even hearing has commenced. So you cannot, it is against the constitutional propriety and constitutional morality. You cannot amend an act that is under judicial security, which is constitutionally suspect law. Sir, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act is being exempt. It is constitutionality is being exempt by the Supreme Court, and hearing is from 2nd August. Day-to-day hearing. Sir, it is better to stop the introduction, because I oppose the introduction on the ground that it is constitutionally suspect and constitutional does not permit the introduction of the bill. Sir, that is my objection to the introduction.
अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ। माननीय मंत्री जी विधेयक को प्रस्तावित।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं विधेयक प्रस्तापित करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 17 डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र कुमार।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि संविधान जम्मू कश्मीर अनुसूचित जातियां आदेश 1956 का और संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए।
कि विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। माननीय मंत्री जी विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करें।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं विधेयक पुनर्स्थापित करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 18 श्री अर्जुन मुंडा जी।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के संबंध में संविधान अनुसूचित जनजाति आदेश 1989 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए।
विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। माननीय मंत्री जी विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करें।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 19 श्री प्रहलाद जोशी जी।
Sir, with your permission, I rise to move for a leave to introduce the bill further to amend the Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act 1957.
प्रश्न है कि विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए। एनके प्रेमचंद्र जी।
Sir, I strongly oppose this bill, Mines and Minerals Development Amendment Bill 2023. It is against the principles of federalism, and it is for privatizing the atomic minerals, mining and mineral separation, privatization for the big corporates, and it is adversely affecting the public sector undertakings like IRE, KMML, TTP and all these. So it is for the privatization for the multinational corporations. It is affecting the security and the safety of the nation, and it is against the federal principles because item number 23 in Schedule 7 of the Constitution, it is violation of the state government's authority so as to give the mining license for the mineral separation, the mining license. So I strongly oppose this bill. Please withdraw this bill. Don't give the permission because it is unconstitutional, ultra-wise the states' rights. So I totally, strongly oppose the bill in introducing this bill.
Sir, मैं ये स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूँ, the clear position is that introduction of the bill can only opposed under the Rule 72 on the ground of legislative competence. This House has full legislative competence, sir. The Mines and Mineral Development and Regulation Act 1957 was enacted under the exclusive power of the Parliament under entry number 54, list 1, that is central list, under 7th schedule, sir, to the Constitution of India. As regards the contention of member who is opposing introduction of bill, it is stated that the power vested under entry 23 of the list 2 is subject to the provision of entry 54 list 1 with respect to the regulation and development under the control of the union. As such, no objection can be raised on the legislative competence of the parliament on this subject matter. Through this bill, government only intends to make certain amendments in the Parent Act of 1957. Moreover, at this stage, discussion on merit cannot happen. Therefore, I urge to allow to introduce the bill, sir.
प्रश्न है कि विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। माननीय मंत्री जी विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करें।
सर, आई इंट्रोड्यूस द बिल, सर।
प्रश्न है कि विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। माननीय मंत्री जी विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करें।
इंट्रोड्यूस द बिल, सर।
श्री आइटम नंबर 11 दानवे राव साहेब पाटिल।
3/2023 को लोकसभा में प्रस्तुत की गई रेल मंत्रालय के संबंध में आंदोलन की मांगे पर 23-24 रेल संबंधी स्थायी समिति की 14वीं रिपोर्ट में अंतर्विष्ट सिफारिशों के कार्यान्वयन की स्थिति पर ये बयान दे रहा हूँ। रिपोर्ट में अंतर्विष्ट सभी सिफारिशों के कार्यान्वयन की स्थिति संलग्न है। क्योंकि ये वक्तव्य बहुत लंबा है, इसलिए मेरा अनुरोध है कि इसे पढ़ा हुआ समझा जाए।
सभा की कार्रवाई 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
श्रीमती पीटी उषा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 74।
Question number 74.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, answer is laid on the table of the House.
Supplementary one.
Thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to raise the important matter in the House, sir. A silent revolution is taking place in the country. It is not held on street, but among the women and children of India. The Poshan Abhiyan scheme, which has successfully addressed malnutrition and improved nutritional outcome for children, pregnant women and lactating mothers. The focus program for delivering the high-impact package of interventions in the first 1,000 days of the children's life. In fact, creating a new India where children of robust health and peak intelligence will become the most important stakeholders who will lead this nation. In this connection, I would like to ask through that whether the government is intending to increasing the capacity of Anganwadis in the country by converting them as early childhood care and education centers. If yes, whether the pilot project be held in the state with high utilization rate of Poshan Abhiyan fund like Kerala. If so, please write details thereof.
Sir, may I beg your indulgence to state officially on the floor of this House that to have a legend like P.T. Usha not only ask a question with regards to the Prime Minister's flagship scheme called Poshan Abhiyan, but also in detail understand the national flagship program, pay homage to the capacity of women and children in the country. Additionally, to ask questions about issues regarding malnutrition and opportunities for women and children, sir, is indeed a privilege to witness as minister. My compliments to P.T. Usha ji. Those who heckle her while she speaks about the issues of malnutrition, those who heckle her, especially inching closer to her mic, possibly have not even contributed 1/3 to this country's glory as P.T. Usha has done. Insofar as with P.T. Usha's question, I would like to hear sir elaborate. Poshan Abhiyan technologically now reaches out to more than 10 crore beneficiaries across the children, across the nation. 94% of them are Aadhaar verified, thereby making it the largest nutrition program in the world that is being successfully run. I must also here say Currently, 13 lakh Anganwadis are under the ambit of Poshan Abhiyan. We have held meetings with states, including the state of Kerala, where we have assured that mini Anganwadis will now be converted into full-fledged Anganwadis if the state so desires. So, as is known to a legend like P.T. Usha, the Prime Minister envisioned the new education policy after a hiatus of 3 decades, under which additional care has been given to early childhood education. So, across private and public sector, early childhood education and care is prioritized. I must also, sir, complimenting you for your patience, further extend and tell Ms. P.T. Usha that we have, in conjunction with all states, taken the best practices of all states to impart early childhood education in the mother tongue across the country. States have proactively joined us in this endeavor. Yet again, sir, I reiterate my gratitude for your patience and P.T. Usha for our contribution to the country.
Supplementary number 2. Question number 75, Dr. Shantanu Sen. On supplementary 1.
Sir, my first supplementary, why can't our learned Prime Minister, sir, my first supplementary, why can't our learned Prime Minister find some time to come to the House and address the Manipur issue?
I tell you, honorable members, this House is required to know what our constitutional provisions are. There are rulings of this House. Constitution is very clear. It's a collective responsibility. Any minister can reply. This chair has given this direction earlier. The honorable member need to know it. We cannot afford to be ignorant. And it was pain to me that in question hour, when there was a question regarding women and children, we were not involved. We need to be careful about it. Honorable Minister, question number 75.
आंसर सब को रखा है.
Any supplementary?
Sir, my second
minister doing to protect the women.
My second supplementary is, how could our learned Prime Minister relate?
Okay. Nothing in your record. Honorable member, you are persisting to tell everyone that you are ignorant of Constitution, ignorant of rules of this House. You are not aware of the directions given by this chair earlier. I am so sorry, you are misconceived. It was such an important occasion. We had number of good questions. There should have been involvement of the House all around. Question hour is important. It is heart of parliamentary debate. It gives an opportunity to members to ask questions to the government and force accountability, transparency, and the government also benefits by wisdom and inputs of the honorable members. On women and child, there was such comprehensive response. I expected lady members and others to particularly ask searching questions. It is not a pleasant duty, honorable members. We must avail the upper house time. Every second has to fructify into public gain, into national gain. Can we filter away these opportunities? Honorable members, out of 1.4 billion people, only few get the opportunity to be in this house, the House of Elders, the upper house. We are required to discharge our obligations. We are required to discharge our duties. And all that we do is, we shout, we create ruckus, we create indecorous behavior. It was good for Mr. Tiruchi Siva to rise and remind me of Rule 235, and everyone violated it. What have you to say? Your same voice is not being listened to others. Honorable members, since time is available, I will take special mentions. Avail the opportunity. Shri Ajay Pratap Singh, Shri Dipender Huda, Shri Lair Singh Siroya, Shri Lair Singh Siroya.
Sir, I would like to draw the attention of the government in very important subject that has dire implications on the country's macroeconomic stability. The culture of announcing freebies competitively to win elections poses a great risk on the fiscal health of states. In April 2023, the CAG of India said, while we understand the importance of the subsidies to help the unprivileged, it is essential to transparently account for such subsidies, and we require to distinguish between justifiable subsidies from freebies which are not fiscally responsible. Sir, citing the example of what happened in countries like Brazil, Sri Lanka, institutions like Supreme Court, ECL, Finance Commissions, RBI, CAG have been cautioning about the consequences of fiscal profligacy in states. The chairman of the 15th Finance Commission had cautioned that it is the race of the bottom to the bottom, not to the road to efficiency or prosperity, but quick passport to the fiscal dissidents, sir. The Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management FRBM Act has failed to check the profligacy, or most of states borrowed funds of budget beyond the pale of FRBM tracking. I urge the government to look into the matter and check if any legislation is being planned to check profligacy in states. In my own state of Karnataka, the newly elected government has reduced capital expenditure with allocations for education, health, rural development, agriculture and irrigations to fulfill the guarantees given during the elections. There is cuts spell disaster to long-term development to the state. This needs to urgent attention. ನಮಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ತಮಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
श्री नरेश बंसर,
पर नहीं मिला है ही नहीं.
श्री निरंजन बीसी, श्री पवित्र मार्गरीटा.
Sir, my subject is appeal for recognizing Assamese script in the ISO 15924. Sir, yes, sir, I'm getting. My subject is appeal for recognizing Assamese script in ISO 15924. In the August Parliament, I already appealed for recognizing Assamese as a classical language, and subsequently Assam Publication Board, Ahom Sahitya Sabha and Government of Assam are already working on it. Now, I would like to appeal for taking necessary steps to recognize Assamese script in ISO 15924/2004 and ISO/IEC 10646. The origin of the Assamese script can be tracked back to the to the early decades of the 4th century. But unfortunately, in ISO and Unicode documents and code chart, Assamese script has not been appropriately recognized. Earlier, Assamese script was recognized. Earlier, Assamese script was recognized by DIT and CDEC in ISCII. The code for Assamese script was 57006. Was the standard recognized by Government of India
for the Indic scripts before Unicode standard was accepted. Bureau of Indian Standards (BIS) is one of the recognizing authorities of the script code for Indian languages. According to documentary evidence, BIS encoded Assamese script independently for Assamese language in 1991. But in ISO/IEC 10646, which provides a code for the representation of names of the scripts, Assamese script is missing. Similarly, in ISO/IEC 10646, which is related to Unicode, Assamese script is not recognized properly. I honestly appeal for recognition of Assamese script in the ISO and Unicode. BIS has BIS has the authority to forward the demand to ISO for recognizing and encoding the Assamese script in its standards. Therefore, sir, I request the concerned government authorities to take the necessary steps to ensure the recognition of Assamese script in the national and international standards, thereby thereby preserving the heritage. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Prashant Nanda. Dr. Prashant Nanda. Dr. Shantanu Sen. Dr. Shashmit Patra. Dr. Shashmit Patra. Shri Jagesh. Shri Jagesh. Shri A.A. Rahim. Shri A.A. Rahim. A.A. Rahim. Shri Dhananjay Bhimrao Mahadik. Shri Dhananjay Bhimrao Mahadik. Shri M. Muhammad Abdullah. Shri Niranjan Bishi. Shri Niranjan Bishi.
Thank you, Chairman sir, for giving me opportunity to speak on an urgent public importance, sir. According to the Children's Climate Risk Index published by UNICEF, approximately 1 billion children live in high-risk countries and are more vulnerable to climate and environment shocks than an adult. Children do not have equal access to clear water, hygiene and sanitation, especially for children living in poverty, which is why children-centric politics should be a forefront for the environment movement in India. According to the Society for Research in Child Development, every year 175 million children globally are expected to be affected by natural disaster. Prarambha, the Odisha State Policy for Children is an excellent example for a children-centric policy that also focuses on climate change. Odisha is very disaster prone, as many as 14 out of 30 districts are vulnerable to floods, cyclone and droughts, which is why a state-based policy that teaches children about the danger of climate change is questionable. One of its prime focuses is to support children who face the adverse effects of climate-induced natural disaster and face exceptional challenges because of climate change. Additionally, the policy also focuses on improving access to climate change-related education. Thus, though I urge the government to form national scheme and environment policy like that of Odisha that are education focuses and are children-centric. Thank you very much, sir.
Shri R. Girirajan. Shri R. Girirajan. Shrimati Shanta Chetri. Shri R. Girirajan.
Sir, we are expressing our
Our concern regarding
Nothing will go. No, you cannot misconduct. You cannot be indecorous. You cannot overreach the rules. If you want to avail your opportunity, it has to be the approved text. You know it. Are you availing the opportunity? Okay. Srimati Shanta Chetri. Srimati Shanta Chetri. Then just, it will be there. You have to be on this subject. Honorable members. Honorable members. One second. 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 Shri Girirajan.
Yes, sir.
It is there.
Yes. Sir, I expressed my concern regarding the Manipur issue.
Mr. Girirajan,
yes.
1 year. You know it. The floor has been given to you for a special mention as per approved text. If you avail the opportunity for beyond this, you are violating law. It is indecorous. You have forfeited your right. Srimati Shanta Chetri. Dr. Amar Patnaik. Srimati Shanta Chetri.
I laid on the table, but I would like to discuss regarding the Manipur.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. You have really engaged into most indecorous conduct even after I had suggested to several people. This is never done. How painful it is. Can we persist with such kind of violations? Sorry, Professor. Sorry, Professor. Take care of your students. Dr. Anil Sukhdev Rao Monde. I'm aware. Take your seat. Dr. Anil Sukhdev Rao Monde. I know. Note. Dr. Uday. I'll come to him. I'll come to him. I've seen his act. Raising hand by Mr. Chidambaram once is good enough.
मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन का ध्यान अपनी तरफ रखना चाहता हूँ। प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना में ग्रामीण भागों के लाभान्वित नागरिक को सरकार 1.20 लाख रुपए की राशि प्रदान करता है और शहरी भागों को लाभान्वित नागरिक को 2.5 लाख रुपए की राशि प्रदान करता है। हालांकि ग्रामीण भागों के नागरिकों को शहरी भाग से ज्यादा खर्चा आता है, जबकि ग्रामीण भागों में आवास के लिए लगने वाली सामग्री शहर से लाना पड़ता है, तो उसका खर्चा यह लाभान्वित नागरिक को उठाना पड़ता है। महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से माननीय मंत्री जी को, सरकार को विनंती करता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के ग्रामीण और शहर में दुजाभाव न कर ग्रामीण और शहरी भागों के लाभान्वित नागरिक को 3 लाख रुपए की राशि प्रदान करें। धन्यवाद।
डॉक्टर अशोक कुमार मित्तल। डॉक्टर अशोक कुमार मित्तल।
संजय सिंह बोलिए।
Sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Mr. Patel, this is absolutely reprehensible. Mr. Patel, your prompting that is audible to all is reprehensible. Such kind of conduct cannot be countenanced. You're prompting a member to take up issue beyond what is listed here. Not expected of a man of your learning. Come on, I give you, please. Dr. Mittal. Dr. Mittal.
Sir, I withdraw this opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Khan, Dr. Fozia Khan. Dr. Fozia Khan. Dr. John Brittas.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Sir, please. Sir, thank you very much for allowing me to raise this matter of grave concern. In today's data-driven era, it is ironic that we have to face ominous specter of internet shutdowns. This is in the context of Manipur. Fear of getting caught on camera, same thing, sir, can stop even the most hardened criminal from committing a crime. Internet shutdown must be viewed in this context. especially in violence-ravaged region. A blanket ban gives a perpetrator a sense of impunity, that his targets are fair game without any mechanism for surveillance. Manipur's recent events serve as stark example. The wanton killings and weaponization of gang rape.
You are aware?
I am reading it, sir.
I know. Read it.
Yeah.
Dr. John Vikas.
I am reading it.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm at your text. Go ahead.
The wanton killings and weaponization of gang rape to spread a reign of terror have come to light very late. A video from May 4th was recently circulated in social media of two women stripped and taken away by rival community mob. Internet shutdowns lead to a breeding ground for fake news, misinformation, and suppression of valuable information. Landmark judgments, including Supreme Court's ruling in Anandha Basin versus Union of India, underscore the paramount significance of Internet in various aspects of life and livelihood. Internet shutdowns causes an estimated economic loss of nearly 40,000 crores in last 3 years alone. Besides, the devastating impact on education, information, health, entertainment, and other facets of life are beyond comprehension. Hence, I urge the government to overhaul the current policy, bring back Internet and Manipur into normalcy and peace. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sasmit Patra.
Honorable Chairman, sir, my special mention is on demand for passage of the Women's Reservation Bill in Indian Parliament. Women's Reservation Bill has been long pending for being legislated in Indian Parliament by providing 33%.
One second. Dr. Sasmit Patra.
Sir.
Dr. Sasmit Patra, you are raising a good point. But you must also take note of the change that has taken place here. We first had a glorious contribution by P.T. Usha from this chair.
Yes, sir.
We had another glorious contribution yesterday from Koinak.
Yes, sir.
And 50% of the chairpersons are from this gender.
Absolutely.
So take note of it and then go ahead.
Right, sir. Sir, on this note, sir, I'd like to thank you for actually empowering the women members of Parliament by appointing 50% of the vice chairpersons from the women's, and it's a tremendous opportunity. But sir, I want to thank you, sir. It's a tremendous opportunity. First time in Rajya Sabha, first time in Parliament, sir. A warm round of applause to you, sir, for having done that. Sir, the approved text before me is demand for passage of the Women's Reservation Bill in Parliament. Women's Reservation Bill has been pending for being legislated in Indian Parliament by providing 33% reservation for women in the Parliament and state assemblies. India would be taking a historic step towards women's empowerment. Successive governments have come to power and center but failed to fulfill their promises. I urge the government, through the Honorable Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, to bring the Women's Reservation Bill for its legislation into a law in the Indian Parliament. My leader and Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, has been consistently demanding for the passage of the Women's Reservation Bill in 2019 general elections. He provided 33% reservation in Lok Sabha tickets from the Biju Janata Dal for women candidates, out of which many successfully won and are now honourable members of Biju Janata Dal as MPs. Honourable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik ji has sent out 22 delegations from Biju Janata Dal to various national and regional parties seeking their support for the passage of the Women's Reservation Bill. Many have expressed their support to this cause. I therefore reiterate the stand of my leader and Honourable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik ji on behalf of Biju Janata Dal and strongly demand that the Women's Reservation Bill must be passed in the Parliament at the earliest. This would be the truest empowerment for 66 crore women of India, their dreams, aspirations, hopes, ambitions, and for building dynamic women leaders of India for the nation and for global leadership and international platform. Thank you, sir. I wish we had silence when we started. This is a critical issue, sir. Thank you so much.
Shantanu Sen.
I lay it on the table.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Dr. V. Sivadasan.
Sir, here the thing is that in Manipur, the very serious issue we are facing, so I am requesting to the government to take a necessary action on this subject.
Dr. Sivadasan,
yes.
I take very strong exception to your transgression of rules.
Yes,
you
sir.
were given floor
Yes,
for
sir.
a special motion only to adhere to approved text.
Sir.
It is most unfortunate,
Sir.
having taken oath of constitution,
Sir.
representing 1/6 of humanity in the largest theatre, you engage into this kind of conduct. I'm
sir,
sorry. Nothing will go on record.
Yes, sir.
Nothing will go on record now. Sri Ayodhya Rami Reddy. Honorable members, one sec. Okay.
सभापति महोदय, मैं अत्यंत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर सदन का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। मुंबई की सरस्वती नाम की लड़की की उसके लिव इन पार्टनर ने बेरहमी से हत्या कर उसे प्रेशर कुकर में पकाकर कुत्तों को खिला दिया था। समय समय पर ऐसी घटनाएं प्रकाश में आती हैं। WHO के आंकड़ों के अनुसार दुनिया भर में 35% महिलाओं की हत्या उनके इंटीमेट पार्टनर ही करते हैं। UNODC के अनुसार अब जब एक साथी दूसरे की हत्या करता है तो उनमें 82% प्रकरण में महिलाएं ही पीड़ित होती हैं, किंतु कई बार पुरुष भी शिकार होते हैं। भारत में विवाह एवं परिवार एक सांस्कृतिक विरासत है। हमारे धार्मिक ग्रंथ, प्रथाएं, मान्यताएं लिव इन को मान्यता नहीं प्रदान करते हैं, किंतु 4 दशक पहले 1978 में बद्री प्रसाद बनाम डायरेक्टर ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन के प्रकरण में सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने लिव इन पार्टनरशिप को मान्यता दी थी। इसका दुष्परिणाम है कि इसका प्रचलन भारत में तेजी से बढ़ा है। संभवतः माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने इसे मान्यता इसलिए दी है जिससे ऐसे संबंधों के पालित संतान एवं महिला को न्याय मिल सके। सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने यह भी कहा है कि भारतीय समाज ऐसे संबंधों को अनैतिक मानता है, परंतु यह गैर कानूनी नहीं है। मेरी मान्यता है यदि यह अनैतिक है तो गैर कानूनी भी होना चाहिए। जस्टिस मलमत्की कमेटी ने पत्नी की परिभाषा की पुनर्व्याख्या की है और ऐसे संबंधों में रहने वाली स्त्री को भी पत्नी की संज्ञा दी है और विवाह कानूनों का लाभ देना सुनिश्चित किया है। यदि ऐसी परिस्थिति है तो विवाह वे लोग क्यों नहीं करते हैं। सरकार इस विषय का संज्ञान ले और कानून बनाए जिससे इस अपसंस्कृति को रोका जा सके और महिलाओं की सुरक्षा की जा सके। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय।
श्री कृष्णलाल पवार।
सभापति महोदय, आज किसान मुख्य सभी प्रकार की खेती करने में सक्षम है, जैसे कि अनाज, बागवानी, दलहन इत्यादि। सरकार भी उसकी खरीद में पूर्ण साथ दे रही है, फिर भी उसकी वित्तीय स्थिति बहुत कम सुधार हुआ है। सबसे बड़ी वजह है कि उसे अपनी फसल का उचित मूल्य न मिलना, जबकि कंज्यूमर को वह चीज बहुत महंगे दाम पर लेनी पड़ती है। कोई ऐसी व्यवस्था अगर इंतजाम हो जाए जहां किसान सीधा अपना उत्पादन ज्यादा मूल्य से बेच सके और उपभोक्ता को कम दाम देने पड़े। इसके लिए सभी राज्यों को अपने अपने राज्य में 200-300 एकड़ जमीन की व्यवस्था का निर्माण करे, जिसे ठहरने से लेकर भोजन तक की व्यवस्था हो। सभी राज्यों को 10-15 एकड़ का प्लाट अलाट करे। सभी राज्य के किसान अपने ज्यादा होने वाली फसल को अन्य राज्यों में स्थापित मंडी में बेच सकें। केंद्र सरकार की EMI स्कीम के तहत शामिल में करके
50% का अनुदान राज्यों को प्रदान करे। इससे होने वाले फायदे निम्नलिखित हैं। किसान को अन्य राज्यों में मार्केट करने का अवसर मिलेगा। सभी राज्यों की डिमांड एवं सप्लाई की जानकारी मिलेगी एवं मार्केटिंग करने और उचित दाम मिलने में सहायता मिलेगी। उपभोक्ता को सीधा किसान से ताजा उत्पादन मिलेगा और सस्ता मिलेगा। धन्यवाद।
श्री धनंजय भीमराव महादिक।
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for allowing me to a very important issue regarding demand for operation of Solapur Airport under Regional Connectivity Scheme, sir. सभापति महोदय, रीजनल कनेक्टिविटी स्कीम के तहत भारत में हवाई सेवाओं को बढ़ावा देने के लिए नागरिक उड्डयन का मंत्रालय ने उड़ान योजना शुरू की थी। इसी योजना के तहत सोलापुर महाराष्ट्र में हवाई सेवा शुरू करने की मंजूरी आरटीएस चरण 1 में ही पूरी कर ली गई थी, लेकिन एयरपोर्ट के नजदीकी क्षेत्र में बनी एक शुगर फैक्ट्री की चिमनी की वजह से रुकावट के कारण सोलापुर से हवाई सेवा का परिचालन अभी तक शुरू नहीं हो सका। लोगों की भावनाओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए कोर्ट के आदेश से अब ये शुगर फैक्ट्री की चिमनी गिराई गई है। सर, मेरी आपके माध्यम से सरकार से ये मांग है कि सोलापुर में जल्द से जल्द हवाई सेवाओं का शुरुआत किए जाए। धन्यवाद सर।
Honorable members, I'm coming to that. That's what Let me tell you, neither Mr. Chidambaram nor I need your support on this. Honorable members, my effort has always been to see that large number of members make their contribution. When they say something in this house, it's a ripple which becomes a wave, and it is impacted all around. I would have loved to continue with this, but Mr. Chidambaram wants to take a floor. First, Mr. Chidambaram will indicate on what premise, and then I'll deal with it. On
question hour.
On question hour under which rule, sir?
I'll just point out.
One second.
Mike, sir.
Listen to your leader at least.
Sir, Mike. Question hour is an important...
Mike is operational.
Question hour...
On the seat.
Sir, I'll take only 3 sentences.
Okay.
Question hour is an important part of Parliament.
Yes.
Questions are asked by members in order to elicit answers from the government.
So what do you...
Questions are classified as starred questions, unstarred questions. I have been told by several members that questions have been asked about one subject, and I will tell you the subject later. But then I asked PRISM, the research facility established by you and the Honourable Speaker, which are the questions admitted and answered on that subject since Parliament session started on the 20th of July until today. The answer shocked me. Not one question, not one question has been admitted or answered on the subject. The subject is Manipur.
Mr. Chidambaram, 1 second. One second. Mr. Chidambaram, you have taken a floor. I have not been able to understand what point are you making. If there is, 1 second, if there is a grievance, 1 second, you have a long career, one second, no, listen to me now. Listen, I have understood, listen to me. Honorable, okay. Honorable Minister.
चेयरमैन साहब,
टेक योर सीट।
आदरणीय चिदम्बरम जी ने अपने तरीके से जिस विषय के बारे में आपका एक व्यू है उस विषय में बड़े विद्वता के साथ, चतुराई के साथ प्रश्न पूछे। वो आपकी विवेक के ऊपर।
चतुराई तो सर कोई भी कर सकता है।
सर, लेकिन मैं एक प्रश्न सर, मैं एक प्रश्न उठाना चाहता हूँ सदन में व्यवस्था की। जो प्रश्न जयराम जी, जो प्रश्न आज आदरणीय सदस्यों ने पूछा भारत की पिछड़ों के बारे में, ओबीसी के बारे में त्रिची शिवाजी ने पूछा, रैंकिंग के बारे में मेरे बहन यमी अग्निक जी ने पूछा, और अध्यक्ष जी, ऐसे विषय में सदन में प्रियंका जी वहीं उपस्थित थे, सदन में प्रश्न पूछ के प्रश्नों को सप्लीमेंट्री आप अवसर देने के बाद नहीं पूछना, ये तो सरासर अप्रजातांत्रिक है, ये तो लोकशाही के खिलाफ है। प्रश्न पूछना और प्रश्न का सप्लीमेंट्री नहीं पूछना। सरकार सारे विषय के लिए तैयार है उत्तर देने के लिए, बाकी आपकी कायदे के अंदर। लेकिन ये प्रश्न पूछ के भाग जाने वाले लोग हैं, मुंह छुपाने वाले लोग हैं, ये कायर लोग हैं।
Honorable members, one second. Honorable members, one second. No, one second. No, let me. Honorable members, one second. Honorable members, I had to suffer a spectacle today that I called out question number, I called out name of the honorable member. They were present in the house. They did not focus on their question. They went into transgression, not expected. I'm so sorry. I was very attentive. I looked at every member and all around. No, sir. One sec. You settle down. Let me understand what you are saying. Ask others to sit back. Ask others to say. Ask others to take seat. Take your seat back. I want to hear Mr. Tiruchi Siva. Please take your seat. I want to hear Mr. Tiruchi Siva. Leader of the House.
सर, ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण स्थिति है कि जहां पे एक माननीय सदस्य शहर के ऊपर प्रश्न चिन्ह उठाते हैं, शहर के ऊपर टिप्पणी करते हैं और एक प्रकार से छल करने की कोशिश होती है, शहर को घसीटा जाता है कंट्रोवर्सी में। मैं समझता हूं चिदम्बरम जी ने माफी मांगी चाहिए। चिदम्बरम जी ने जो शहर के ऊपर प्रश्न उठाया, ये एक प्रकार से अवमानना है शहर की, और चिदम्बरम जी ने जब तक माफी नहीं मांगी शहर की, बाकी ये चीजें हम करते रहेंगे। लेकिन चिदम्बरम जी ने जिस प्रकार से आपके ऊपर टिप्पणी की, आपके ऊपर प्रश्न शहर के निर्णय के ऊपर, और सिर्फ एक छोटा एक राउंडी पॉइंट स्कोर करने की कोशिश की है, ये इनका हर बार का तरीका है। एक गार्व ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल, एक गार्व ऑफ बड़े तर्क लेके ये शहर की अपमान नहीं कर सकते। इसी प्रकार से जो माननीय सदस्य आपके बुलाने के बाद, हाउस में रहने के बाद अगर वो प्रश्न नहीं उठा रहे, तो मुझे लगता है आपको एक निर्णय लेना चाहिए। मेरा आपसे दरख्वास्त है कि ऐसे सदस्यों का प्रश्न लेना बंद करना चाहिए।
Honorable member,
नहीं चाहते हाउस में पार्टिसिपेट करना, तो
I looked into the record.
करना चाहिए।
One second. One second. No. One second. Take it.
244 लोग के privileges है।
Okay. Honorable members, I have looked into the record. I have listened to the audio. Because what Mr. Chidambaram said yesterday and what he said subsequently, the two were not in consonance. I have seen, I am seized of the matter, and I am pretty sure that when a senior member of his stature, with his background, professional and political, and in the executive as a senior minister, makes such kind of observation, what could be the way out? I will seek guidance from honorable members also. I am seized of the matter, and discussion will take place once I have taken a view on this. The House is adjourned to meet at 2 p.m. today.